Hello, I'm Straya. Welcome to the video you clicked on to help you get through a little bit of your day. Today we are back with Anno 117, continuing our fresh playthrough a few hours in. So I'm feeling a little bit behind, like I need to get into the DLC and I need to get to the new island. The long-term goal for me with this playthrough is, for the first time for me, to get all 4 levels of workers and establish all production chains for all of them. So that's what we're doing in this playthrough, and I've just recently, at the end of the last video, unlocked level 3 workers and the ability to go to Albion. Of course, that's not super urgent because they can't start without us. So I'm going to do something that might turn out to be stupid. I'm going to settle on Cinis very soon, rather than going to Albion first and building that up and having a more established island here on Pegasus. I'm just gonna go for it. We're gonna start it. My big question is that going to be okay? Are we going to be able to prepare for what the volcano does while juggling all of these other things that we also need to do? We will find out in this episode of Anno 117. Now, to accomplish that, we still have a few things that we need to take care of on time. And the most important is the Emperor request, which has a time limit. However, there's an hour and 18 minutes to go, so we have plenty of time, and I don't believe that we have close to enough oil yet. No. But we've got that working. We've got the oil in the works, and we have enough bread, and we've reserved it. The other thing I would like to close up before we head off is sardines for Valeria. Do we have enough sardines yet? No. The game hasn't really played out after I finished the last video, so I should have known we didn't have anywhere close to enough sardines yet. That means we are just going to head over there. We're not going to worry too much about our equites on Pegasus yet. We will get to them. And in fact, we can actually start some winemaking and concrete production before our ship gets to Cinis. I'm also a little bit concerned about Kaiso, how close he is, and how he's going to start ramping up his ships and their routes. You can see there are a few more than there used to be, I believe, and the chances of running into him start to increase. I would like to have the trireme done before we build any more military ships. And for that, we still need to increase our city status. So we will have to work on Pegasus while we are balancing what's happening in Cinis, just to accomplish the basics of what we need to do. I think we can handle that. I'm going to try. So over here, we're going to go ahead and start our limestone quarry, our first one. And maybe we'll go ahead and put 2 in, because I always put 2 of everything to start with, for no real reason. Now these 45-second things, I'm trying to get a handle on sort of mentally calculating what that means. But we've got 2 limestones, 2 units of limestone every minute. These 2 go together a little bit better because we have a 2-to-1 ratio. We can produce 2 units of concrete a minute per sand refinery. So we'll just go with that and not try to even it out with not try to even it out. With the, we'll go with that and not try to even it out with the quarry itself quite yet. I think that gets into the multiples of numbers. I didn't get enough sleep. I'm fighting for words. So we're gonna put like these raw resource collection here on this particular harbor for the moment. And we are going to have to connect it up to this road here. It's a little awkward, but it works. They're going to need a warehouse. We'll have a little industry area here. Maybe we'll put some extra homes here as well. People who live near the harbor to work here. This isn't connecting for some reason. Oh, that didn't get quite finished. So we've got our first silica maker, whatever it's called. And we need to connect our quarries. It's nice that that one's already next to a warehouse, but this one is going to need a new warehouse. It's fine. And we'll put our mixers here. So that should give us enough goods to get started. Of course, it's going to be it's slow going, so the earlier we get started with concrete, as soon as we get equites, the better. So I'm glad that we have that all set up first. We have some production chains going. We can now sort of at least slow down timber. We're starting to catch up a little bit. What I'm going to try to do is just halt something that's full so that they don't keep picking up more and more units. I think that might be how they get full, how they end up with too many cargo slots filled with the same good, even though they're not supposed to do that. You can't really reserve. I don't think this really reserves the slot itself, just the quantity. We will see. So we're gonna do that and see if that helps that trade route and prevents problems with that ship. Let's take a look at the ship and just make sure we know what it's carrying. Yeah, see, it just keeps picking up more wood, unfortunately, and has nowhere to drop it off. I'm not sure how to prevent that, and it means I assume it means it can't pick up more of these goods because it doesn't have enough cargo slots available now. The other thing we can do, however, is increase our storage here. I'm learning how to troubleshoot these things. It's been slow going. It's been massive struggle for me personally. So how many can we get now? We can have 250. So where is Ovid? Where are you, Ovid? Which direction is this? Which way is he going to be? Where is he going? Is he on his way? He's on his way to Pegasus. I'm gonna pause. I'm just gonna troubleshoot that he can drop this off at Pegasus now. So let's just get him there and take care of this before we lose out on our entire trade route. So we're gonna drop all of this off. And I don't think that means he picks up, and I don't think he picks up anything for Pegasus now, so. We also need to rename our other new ship, and this one is going to be Virgil. If you haven't seen my other videos or you didn't pay attention, I named the ships after people and the islands after mythical creatures. So let's build a few homes over here. I want room for a wall as well, so that if we need to build our defenses, we can do that. I think that a gap of 1 is enough for a wall. Oops. We'll have a little extra wide road here since they will be going both directions. I like that little touch. I don't like when it creates a little tail that I don't want. It's kind of nice look. Give them a tavern as well. They will, I'm sure that these folks would like to have a drink once in a while. And have some place to grab a bite to eat. We need to upgrade some of our equites since we added that concrete, all those concrete making buildings. So we'll just add a few more of those here. And we need more plebeians because of that. Always a constant balance, partly because I don't just build massive amounts of homes right away, which I probably should do. I know I have watched others who take more of that rapid growth approach. I tend to be a little bit more balanced as I go. I suppose there's pluses and minuses to both of those things, but we can add more homes here. I guess we need 500 equites perhaps before, is that, do we need that before the volcanic activity even happens? take a look at any issues we're having. We import porridge. Right? No, we make... Why don't we have any supply? Do we not make any? I might have discovered something that I failed to do from the very start. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? That would not be a surprise, however. We have 0 porridge and 2 oat farms, which makes absolutely no sense. This is not the first time that something like this has happened. Watch my previous videos. We'll create a few porridge stands here. It doesn't make sense for them to necessarily be right next to each other, but maybe we'll just move one of those, at least one of those down here next to the tavern. We're gonna need another oat farm for that. No problem. Uh-oh. That give us what we need. Now we're producing way more porridge than we actually need, which is... So we're going to pause just one of those in normal mode, and I think I have the right options. It costs less to have a paused building than an active one. So now that we have gotten those things ready, I forgot to load... Oh my gosh, I do this every single time. I forgot to load materials. They have sardines. Those are reserved. Ah, yes, I want a treaty. Thank you. It was your idea, but sure.
You could put that on papyrus, you know. Make it official. The diplomats will sort that out.
So I don't really want to settle this without some extra timber. Tiles would also be helpful. Let's go back. I'm delaying this. I'm just gonna tease this settlement for a little bit longer. Okay, we have this, and I believe we should be able to research this now. Yes. So we'll move that up, actually. As soon as the resin research is done, we will research the ships, and that way we can have more cargo holds in our trade ships, and we will better be able to defend ourselves or engage in any protection contracts. So here on Fawn, we are pretty stable. We've got a okay balance for now. We're not losing money here, at least. And they're producing olives for us. And resin. With the little resin tappers. Sending it to Pegasus so that Pegasus can make amphorae and olive oil. Let's see what they're getting in return, if they're getting their goods, if we are making enough. Yes, we are starting to build up our stock of amphorae, which means we're making enough in Pegasus to have enough to send over here. And even olive oil, which is great. Although I think we are also making it here. Yes, we do have an olive press here. So I actually think that we are self-sufficient with olive oil here. Yes, we are not trading it. What's going on with Ovid now? It should have enough cargo hold for those materials. It's not giving me an alert here, so I think it's not actually a problem. I hope. While we are waiting, we can start planning out our grapes and wine production. We have 14 concrete, so we can go ahead and start filling in, start building these vineyards. Where do I want to put them? Maybe we'll put them in this area. They're so pretty. I love these buildings.
In your city.
Do we have people taking care of that? We should, right? I think I have. I might not have put fire protection, the Vigalis, here. I might be thinking of a different playthrough. Well, they can head out to deal with that fire now. They're covered by this one. I continue to have struggles with the diagonal. Sure, whatever. Sometimes I just go with the awkwardness of a road or something that just doesn't quite work. Sometimes it needs to be fixed. We'll get some timber. I'm going to start with 50 of each. Oh, this guy can't reach a warehouse. Let's actually move this. After all that effort to put it there, we'll just move it here. And that can reach this warehouse. I think we're going to have to upgrade this warehouse, or it's going to get congested. The one thing I would like to do by settling on Albion, or in Albion, is get that research opened up for woodcutters on meadows. That would be extremely helpful. That is the one thing I'm delaying by this choice to develop Cinis. So what else do we need for our wine? We need apiaries. We can have... Let's build them here where we have other things nearby, where we have a warehouses nearby. And that one can't reach. Neither of them are actually reaching a warehouse, of course. Are these all going here? That's gonna get congested anyway, so let's set one right here. We need to fill this in the rest of the way. And then we need our vintner. Knowledge does go down overall. We can't help that. That doesn't have, it's not an area effect we can mitigate by its location, and its location has no downsides. So we will put the vintner in here. It is a beautiful building. Let's put it here next to the sanctuary. I'm not going to build roads around it yet because it doesn't need it, and it's kind of cute there, nestled among the trees. The theater, we can even build the theater now. We have enough money and resources. This would be very impressive, but I'm thinking I would rather have the core of the really ritzy part of the city up here at some point. Do I want to worry about that now? Probably not. I think we'll probably move our lavender because, you know, it's nothing compared to, say, the theater. It does provide some benefits, but it's not nearly as critical as the theater. So let's go ahead and do that. Ooh.
Your recent behavior has been uninviting. I find it quite impossible that you and I should sit down to discuss a treaty.
That move definitely hit me a little bit. Luckily, this is going to give us even more happiness and a wider area of effect. Right by the villa.
Got anything I could include in a gladiator outfit?
Don't give me ideas, Dorian. So with that is extremely exciting. In like literally 1 second. Look, this is gonna go away any second now. There you go. There's your materialize. There's your materials. Materialized. Out of nowhere. No work involved. No one's hauling those carts. Just happens. Alright. We are gonna settle. Cinis. I feel like in this particular case, it should have more dramatic music. I know that's a traditional Anno thing. Fantastic.
For a new routine. Absolutely, yes.
So, as usual, this has been a lot of this playthrough has been a lot of building up new settlements and new areas of building up new islands in a short amount of time. So let's unload.
What could you possibly require?
Did I load the wrong ship? Did I not load this? I could have sworn I did that. Did I cancel out? I'm gonna review the footage. I'll probably post in whatever stupid mistake I just made. Maybe that's how it works. Anyway, let's build another... Let's make sure we can continue to produce wood here. Can we get 2 in this area? Yes.
The greater their devotion to Ceres, the more plentiful their yields.
So this will be our initial little settlement area, and we will build with the view in mind as we continue. I haven't even explored all of this island. It's so huge, you can't even zoom out any further than this. So you can build up all the way up here, and then it's sort of uninhabitable up that way. And you can build all the way over here. And there's no other side that we can reach. So we've got a nice little sort of island among the rivers here that's pretty. Let's get these guys a warehouse. And we'll get our first houses started. Hoping for a road in between in the middle. Maybe if we do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make something that's maybe slightly different or more interesting than usual. A little less predictable. Because I've built so many of these little rows set slightly back from the shoreline. What? That's strange. I don't know why it wouldn't let me copy that. We officially have our first people on Cinis. It's really exciting. And as usual, our liberties, of course, can be self-sufficient on any island. So we'll build these fishing huts. We will get them a market. I'm so glad I can expand my resin tappers. We will have some sheep farms nestled in over here. I did that wrong. It's not very Roman, I suppose, to have things not on perfect grids, but that just gets a little boring to me after a while. road didn't get quite where I wanted it to be. I need to work a bit on my mic setup. Not that anyone is interested in how I have my mic set up or that the behind the scenes of all of this. But I have to kind of look around it, and I think when I move, it affects how the audio sounds. It should be fairly stable. When I do tests, it sounds a lot more stable than when I do game recording. So, which could be a few things. It could be that I'm moving more than when I test it. I try to do a good test, but I could just not be quite getting there in a realistic way. Or my mic position isn't quite right. That is one thing I'm still struggling with a little bit, is all the tech setup. So we're going to build plenty and plenty of houses here. There's no reason to skimp on housing, except when we run out of wood. This is a huge island. We have a lot of space to fill. I do want a patron god. We're probably going to switch to Neptune at some point over on Pegasus to make more ships. Once we have the trireme researched, we'll work on that. Now we can finally get the shrine, which is great because that will help with population. How are they doing? These are slowly working. We'll get them their hats very soon. This is already processing. So we need to catch back up with our timber. These require concrete, so not only can we not build it on this island yet, we don't have concrete for it. We could build one here for the extra population. We might get rid of a house or two, or move a house or two for the shrine, but maybe it seems a little overkill to have it right next to the sanctuary. We are a little packed in here at the moment. Why don't we build it right as you come in? No, it's not really worthwhile. So this gives us 1 population and 1 health. The spinner gives income and knowledge. The kitchen is significant income. You know, we can move this felter. It's giving us +1. We might see a little bit of a dip there. And we can put our shrine right here. Can we center it? Excellent. While the bakery is not that picturesque, I think it is actually very fitting to have a shrine to Ceres right next to a bakery. The only thing that might be better is right by the wheat fields. But let's spin this around. Oh, we can't. This is a little bit of an awkward area, isn't it? What we can do, I think, is get rid of some of these things. We need to get rid of some more of these decorations. And then move this. That looks at least a little bit nicer by the statue. We can put our well back in. Maybe have flagstone throughout this area. Oops, I did not mean... Oh, I thought I got the road for a second there. I'm glad I didn't. We could even put in some sort of little decoration here if we wanted. I think that's nice. We did lose some income, which is a shame. But we'll make up for it. Let's go back here and build some more homes. Sorry, dude, who is already on that road. Didn't get that quite right. Cute, cute, cute. And we can build just like a few more things out here and expand the homes up this way. How are we doing now? We're still losing money on infrastructure. Mostly on production buildings, it looks like, and land taxes. Land taxes, that makes sense. This is a huge island. We're going to get taxed to hell for this land. That just means we need to worry about upgrading a little bit more quickly than sometimes I go. That way we can start our mackerel production, our mackerel fishing here, which is really important because we don't have any other source of mackerels for garum. That's not where I want to put that, actually. I'm going to put that over here. No. Can I not build over here? Let me get rid of this for the moment and rebuild here. Oh, they have to go up. I don't know how this works. What do we need? We also need salt ponds. That's great. We can put those over here. A salt pond is 2 every minute. Mackerel is 1 every minute. So we can have 1 salt pond, 2 mackerel. And the garum works, which is going to be awkward. So we do lose happiness from the garum works because it is smelly. So we're just going to, well, first of all, we're going to get this connected. What's going on? Can it reach? No. Maybe for the moment we will move that to the warehouse area. We'll move that later when it makes sense. But I don't need to build another warehouse just for that. We'll put our garum over here where it can't affect quite as many buildings in terms of happiness. And it is a shame to lose out on the income. We have our start here on Cinis officially. We are up and running. It's been about an hour for me. I'm going to take a break and we'll come back and pick up where we left off. I might not be talking as much during this half of the playthrough, and I might try in general not filling the space with chat. We're just waiting on the ship to get here so that we can load some olive oil. And that reminds me, I've got my 2 main islands now with keyboard shortcuts. If you didn't know that you can do that, it's Control plus F5, and then when you hit F5, it will go back to wherever you were when you hit that. You can also use F6 and I think F7 at least, if not more. So I have Pegasus on F5 and Cinis on F6 now, which is going to be extremely helpful for jumping back and forth and facing exactly the way I want to face. I'm just going to scope out the island a little bit more while we wait for our ship to arrive. My basic understanding is that we want to develop a lot of resources over there and have a lot in store in our warehouses so that we can weather the time when things aren't being made. So that's what I'll mostly be working on. Oh, that's not what I wanted. 50, I only need 17 here. Nope. We're going to take... We need to load the bread as well. We need 66 of this. So we'll get this ship going over here to Diana. We also need to get sardines to Valeria, so let's go get Virgil. So we're going to want to increase our trading post and island storage right away on, or at some point on Cinis, and just have a lot of extra Well, we can't do that. We still, sardines are pretty slow, so we're still gonna wait on those. We're gonna want a lot to be producing or possibly importing lots of extra supply and leveling up our trading post and adding extra island storage. Let's go ahead and add more mackerel. I'm looking at where I want to put things. Since I did like this, I like the view out this way. That's beautiful to have people up here looking out over this beautiful arch and the islands in the distance, and also looking up this way. So at some point I will move, we'll move from here, this harbor area, up this way and have our villa somewhere up in here. I think up here we can have who knows whatever we want. Mountain, we can have limestone or iron. So far I don't know if there's anything that will unlock with the interesting. Is this going to be part of the overall quest? Or is it just... What? They say one man lives here still. Priest... I don't know how to say that name. Priscus? Because it is going to take more than one little eruption to run him out. Oh, this is so cool. Look at these ruins. This is so cute. Possibly someone down there?
Told me, but nothing could have prepared me for his death. It is one thing to be chosen by the god, and another to be alone.
Oh, fascinating. I love her voice and her just general vibe and tone of voice and how she speaks. This is going to be really cool to uncover, I think, even though the writing for this game isn't necessarily extremely strong and compelling compared to, you know, a truly narrative game. But this is pretty cool. I don't know I've never played another Anno, so I don't know how they are. I have played a few other Ubisoft games, a few other city builders, but the campaign, I didn't get all the way through. It was fine. Some of the things were interesting, but I wouldn't say overall that it was especially compelling. Maybe the ending gets... And I have heard disappointment that it just sort of ends somewhat abruptly, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on some incredible moments. The basic twist was kind of cool, but with Marcia, I haven't really played the brothers story, so I don't know what that's like. Well, we've got our trireme at last, and the Emperor should soon chime in with her satisfaction at a job well done. We can now send sardines to Valeria. Who is right here. And that means that we will be all caught up on all of our contracts and the Emperor's request. Thankfully. And we can just focus on building for now, and we can fill in any, we can add any contracts we like, but I'm going to be pretty busy juggling things here and growing things, and we're going to have to add Albion to this. We won't have a lot of time for keeping up with ships and making sure they get where they need to go. Oh, excellent.
You met the terms of the contract, Governor.
Did I not send enough bread? Oh, I'm stupid, apparently. I hope I can get back and forth in time.
Festina Lente.
Would not be the first time that I lost one of these contracts or quests because I did something dumb and at the last minute I took too much time and just barely lost. Unfortunately. So, but now we'll get alerts when our ship arrives because I finally figured out how to do it. So let's build some roads out here and see how we want to build out the city. We might put some blueprints down. We can have our villa sort of right up here. We're gonna have eventually some more larger buildings that we'll probably want pretty close. So I don't know if this will end up being the very best thing, but we'll see. I don't know if I want to try perhaps something a little different in terms of roads and the approach here. At least for now, we don't need to be super crowded.
The crown of golden autumn precedes us.
It takes so long to get to Diana compared to Valeria. Hopefully our ship is close. Yes, right there. We can get 10 more bread. That was silly on my part.
Time flies, as do we.
Now that we have those done, we just need to clean up a few of these things here in terms of minimum stock. I think that's all we had reserved. I can also start using Virgil on a trade route to Dorian, I believe. from Pegasus to his island. I don't know why you can't search here the way you can at your trading post. It seems a little silly that they wouldn't just allow that. I want to lower this, however. We're just going to start with selling him a modest amount of 20 units and see if that can make us a little bit of money. I think our ship should make it in 8 minutes. It doesn't take quite that long to cross over to that side of the map. Let's just see who's full here because they're not going to be providing any benefits. We do have some missing goods issues here. Missing coal. Let's just double check our balances. We do need more wood. What's going on with our renderer? We have a coal shortage. So
The gods must have sent you, Governor.
yeah, you're lucky that I got all that done.
We advance.
I believe that having some more coal will solve this little bottleneck, so we might as well go ahead and deal with that problem. That seems to be the lard maker's issue as well as the bakery, so hopefully one extra will do it and we can go back to focusing on Cinis and building some of this out. They have plenty of sardines. We're gonna have to fit other things in here, so this probably can't all be houses like this. And for the moment, since we have low and I'm going to continue growing this out, and we can have some fields down here. We're gonna have lots of fields, I believe, by the in order to keep up with everything we need and all the extra supply. So we'll probably have fields up in here, and we can have marble production here, flax and grapes, and the usual. What are they in need of? Probably just about everything.
Warm hat.
They can't produce olive oil either, so we're going to have to add them to our overall production and trade and ship trading. They can't produce lavender for soap, but we can get them sandals. Let's try to go one at a time. This, we can add knowledge and or happiness and belief here for them with their service buildings. Not centered, but again, if we want to center that, we can adjust this area here. Do we need to do anything else here now that the ship is back? Let's check on... It says we're producing more than we should need. But we had 2 and we added a third one. But let's go back a few minutes when we only had 3. They did produce 3 there, but only 2 here. They're not at full capacity. Is that because of... Yes, it's because of their surrounding woods. Let's see if we can... Oh, it's because because of the road that I built. We have the buildings. We don't have the ability... We didn't have the ability to fully take advantage of the buildings. So let's see if we can change this up a little bit without disrupting too much stuff here. And move these. See how it looks when we move it down by another one. With the road around this. That's weird. I don't know why it was having so much trouble. That's still not quite right. Hold on. I don't want to disrupt too much by... So if we have this here and we have a road right up next to it, and we move this over there. We are still in the negative here because of those taxes, so we're going to continue leveling up where we can in terms of our workforce without destroying too much of the Liberty workforce. And I still sort of wanted to have this little area for at least a little bit of something other than houses. We've got the sheep. We're going to need more of those. It's kind of nice to build some crops to take advantage of the irregular line here. This might be where we can put some hemp. And fill in the gap here. We're not going to have everything here we need, even for this area, but it'll be kind of nice to have a little bit of a mix, I think. Have some of that in with our small community here, and then we'll branch out into the city. And we can get them a spinner. We don't have a tavern, which helps with population. We can settle that right there. Oh, what a perfect spot. I did that on purpose.
You can hear the debates at the Grammaticus from streets away.
So we need sandals and soap. Sandals or soap to start with, amphorae or olive oil to start with. So let's see what we're making more of currently, whether it's olive oil or amphorae. Olive oil is, oh, let's get this going too, so we get those benefits. We get those benefits going. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. Maybe. Is that better or worse than it was? I don't know. Numbers mean nothing to me. It is slowly going down, however, so I think that while we wait for all of those effects to add up and slowly accumulate, we will take a look at what is going on with our amphorae and our olive oil. So we've got extra amphorae, both in Pegasus and in Fawn. We could also take olive oil from Fawn. We can take both olive oil and amphorae from Fawn and send them to Cinis. So I think that's the most efficient thing to do. Let's look at our ships and what's available. This is Chase to, I'm just gonna say Dorian. I don't remember what his island is, and that I will understand immediately. We need to continue getting these out and growing them, so we might also increase now our olive groves. But since we're already sending amphorae... Oh no. We can't send amphorae from... We could send it from Fawn, but it doesn't make any sense. We're already loading it here. So what we can do is add Cinis. Change how many we send there because they're getting plenty. And change this to the balance of that 50. Hopefully I have figured that out correctly. So now they are going to get amphorae. And before we start... Where are we They have more here on Fawn, but I think part of it is we need to increase our olives and increase our olive oil production overall. So while this is growing and losing us some money, while this is growing and our balance here on Cinis is improving, we will go add some olive groves here, as long as they're not all using all of them. It looks like nothing is full except for the timber. So we can keep adding more of those. I do want to make sure that I can use this slot if I need to. This river slot, so go down here like this. And we'll just check our production balance. We have 2 extra units that we're producing per minute, and we are shipping them out. They are definitely being used as soon as they're produced. So let's go to Pegasus and see how they're doing. How are their olive oil producers doing? They are consistently producing 2 olive oil. How much was it on Fawn? 1. Let's add another press to Fawn. Another press here in Pegasus. And we'll see if the olives can keep up with that level of production. And if we are producing enough, we will send some back to Cinis. But for the moment, we're gonna continue selling some to Dorian for the income because we're not in a hurry yet for that olive oil on Cinis. I see where trade estimation is now, way at the bottom. Own islands, other islands, estimated trade balance. So we are in a positive because of the way things are set up. I don't fully understand that. I might have to check out some videos and see if I can better understand that information. Let's get back here to Cinis. We need to build up this population and continue to develop the needs. Continue to develop the needs for our tier 2 workers. We do have some garum already going, and you can see that while we were sort of elsewhere, our balance seems to have steadied out at plus 199. Oh, that's population. Never mind, that's why it's so even and balanced. Oh great, now we can build out into the water, which I have never done. I have no idea how to even get started there. Am I paused? No. It does seem like my income has evened out. We have achieved a little bit of the current equilibrium, and we will continue to grow now and hope that we can maintain a positive balance of our income. Yes, continuing slowly to increase. That's wonderful news. So let's just double check our garum. We are safe to expand more of our tier 2 workers with what we have, and I'll be honest, I am not sure how to tackle this. I don't know if I should really be focusing on getting stability and then getting extra, or if I should just be getting extra now and just building up as we go. I'm going to do what I can to... I'm just going to have to wing it for now. I don't want to destroy some of these views with things like livestock, so I've been debating where I'm going to put them, but for now I'm going to have them right here so that at least we have this one area. We'll have this one area that is not quite as pretty for our livestock, with our livestock here, that's near our initial settlement. It makes sense that as they start to build up, they will put things nearby, and later on we can rearrange as we need to.
In your city.
Okay, let's just make sure this can be taken care of. I don't know if I have any fire control here. I do not, so we are going to put those folks right here. And that way they can take care of this fire. Let's go ahead and get sandals started, since they can build sandals for themselves right here. Again, doing some calculations. At some point, I'd like some notes that just has the production chain balances on that I could just switch over to really quickly. But that takes quite a lot of time to set up. So I'm still working on that in my free time. My own personal little wiki. So pigs, we've got 2 a minute. Salt, we've got 2 a minute. So we have 1 pig, 1 salt for 2 tanneries. And that can support 2 sandal makers, which is more than we need to start with, I'm sure, for this size of population. We'll go ahead and put one of them up here. I got an accomplishment for level 2 on Cinis. Fantastic. If we have this the other way, I don't know if there's a different building that would fit beside it. That's pretty tiny. I don't think anything fits there, but just in case. We can always just have the road shift instead of continuing as a grid. We'll see what we want to do here. But we can build a second tannery with what we have, if my calculations are correct. Or sandal maker, excuse me. And we get extra income from these buildings as well, not just homes. So we can either be greedy. We're gonna have a lot of other buildings to place up here and things. So for the moment, I'm going to just kind of nestle this down here. Keep some of that industry together. And I'm actually going to turn it around and have this entrance face the street. This is cute. I don't know if anything fits in this little spot. Can we smooth the grass? That is looking a bit snowy. What's going on there? What in the world? We can fit some tiles underneath. Some tiles here. Or hard earth, or we could even create some muddy ground here outside of the pig farm and everything that's going on here. A little less pretty and a little more realistic. Eventually they'll be getting the amphorae from the trade route. They are already arriving. That's very good news. We'll go ahead and upgrade this. I don't know why it wasn't. We should have already upgraded it just immediately because we know we're going to need a lot of storage on this island. So is that the maximum storage, 250? Or can you get that expanded through research at some point? I am curious. Now that we have at least one of every category, let's check in. They're getting their sandals. The supply is slowly being met. So let's continue expanding here. I think what I'm going to do is build enough houses until we run out of timber. And then do something else really stupid and go settle in Albion. I want to unlock some of the research we can't get unless we have Albion going. And they're going to be missing some services here. We will eventually want to fill in what we're missing here because the Equites will want those things to satisfy their household needs.
Ilias, the cap that made me a free chap.
Right, we are officially low or out of timber. We could probably slowly put one house in at a time. But I think that is fantastic for now. We can just check our balance. That is helping a lot, all those new houses. Plebeians. And just double check that there's nothing too concerning here. We can even out the tunics and Pileus hats before we go, because that looks like not just little fix. That looks like a supply chain issue and not just a temporary thing. And we got up to level 3 very quickly. That's wonderful. We can add that there and add another hemp farm. I think this will look. This would look even prettier with a little bit of oats. But this does give us more population, but we are, as I said, running low on timber. It's not keeping up with everything that we are doing. Let's see about a festival, what this gets us. A bakery on Cinis. We don't have a bakery, so we're going to postpone that.
I await your instructions.
My most hated notification in the entire game. Having to double check everywhere. But I understand some of it is because I didn't adequately use this statistics menu to understand that I could actually just very quickly check each island. We've already taken care of what he's talking about, though, so... You know what, Benbalian? You are so right. Those things need to be taken care of very, very quickly. I will get right on that. We've got lots of money now, so I think it is a good time to head over for the first time in this playthrough to Albion. Here we go.
You Romans probably think this place is weird. All of that. But then if the Celts saw Latium, they'd probably feel the same. It's our home. It's ancient. Naturally, a Roman sees it running wild and wants to bring it to order, to heal. Expect a bit of resistance there, mind. It's two different worlds, sort of bound by fate, but divided in belief. Anyway, Albion knows how all that's meant to meet.
Okay, we're going to move on. I've seen this before.
Procurator. You must be the newest governor. Mars knows we need help.
So we have been naming our ships after famous people, and I suppose as a Roman, I would continue to be happy to name my ship after poets from ancient Rome. I don't know if there are any named writers, poets from Great Britain in the... What is this, the 2nd century? For now, we're just going to take our ship and sail into the middle and hope that we can find some good islands. I've set it to notify me when it gets there. So we're going to be bouncing back and forth. We're going to double check on our concrete production here and check on this quest. I hate this quest a lot. I'm not sure the best way to handle it. I have failed it. I have seen someone else fail it. I have not seen somebody succeed. I feel like you need a whole circle of ships around the ship that you're going to be escorting. Now, maybe they plan on it being an unlikely success, and that's why the revenge follow-up is available if you fail. Maybe you're meant to fail. I am not sure, but I'm not going to do that yet because I still just have the one ship and I'm not quite ready to go there. We're getting plenty of concrete so we can start building all sorts of things like an aqueduct and a theater, as much wine as we would like. Oh, we have a theater. Never mind. So we can even possibly build an aqueduct. Did we get... And we are working on duct irrigation. So we can use the aqueduct for our fields as well. That's going to be really especially useful in preparing for what we need to have on hand in Albion. I've been trying to decide if I'm going to be moving my city or keeping it here. I would have to, if I keep it here, I need to move the limestone quarries, at least one limestone quarry somewhere else. Start the aqueduct up here and bring it into the city. Possibly somewhere like here. Let's check. Let's see how that looks.
Our scouts have sighted new land.
So we could have the cistern here. That would affect quite a bit of the city. We might interfere with this woodcutter. Oh, I meant to do that in... I should have done that in the other mode. That's okay. So let's put this in planning mode and just see... 98%. We could move this. We could move the Grammaticus. And that would help. We could even just put it facing this way, and that might give us a little bit of leeway. Let's see. Still 98. This would go up here, and we would move this limestone quarry. It's kind of cool as a backdrop to our city, instead of sometimes it gets in the way and it kind of looks like it's walling off part of the city, but it would wall off this sort of agriculture, this area here, an extension of the city at some point once we can move all of these things. Why don't we go ahead and do that and move our limestone quarry? We'll just build a new one and then get rid of this one. We can put limestone up here. Connect it up to this road. And give it a warehouse nearby. Looks like that will reach. I don't think we have anything else related to concrete mixing right here except the quarry and the warehouse that helps support it. So
our scouts have sighted new land.
I'm actually going to go ahead and build this and destroy this. Just in time. And I will build whatever I can of this.
My favorite thing.
I know, Dorian. Isn't it so exciting? This is so fun. An aqueduct.
Your aqueduct. Quite an achievement from such humble beginnings.
Indeed, indeed. I might like to adjust some of this, but it has character.
Some of the necessary materials haven't reached us.
We're dealing with issues with our olive oil as usual. Let's go to Albion. We'll deal with that in a minute. It's not a crisis. But I do want to settle an island soon. So we've got herbs, dye plants, saltwort, seashell, iron, silver. Not terrible. I like having, I like the idea of having barley. But I would also like copper. Let's go check. There should be one other central big island at least. And we'll choose from one of these. Let's see what that other one is. And come back when our ship finds it. And now we can check on olive oil or olives. We're not growing enough. Incredibly, we should be producing 1 a minute, 2 a minute, 2.5 a minute. That admittedly is not a lot. And I didn't leave room for a road to come up here, so I need to destroy a little bit of this. Looks like I'm gonna destroy all of it. All of that side, at least. We'll get a road right down the center. And we'll fix this. Let's see if we can get one more in here.
New land.
We'll see if that helps things or if we're gonna need even more while we go to Albion, but we'll let them catch up. Looks like somebody else is also looking at this island. Barley and copper, flax. I think I'm gonna settle this one. That is my ship. I wasn't sure. It looked like there was a green dot on there. It's blue. Tarragon, I think? Yeah, he's wanting to settle this island, but unfortunately I think we're going to turn him down. Because I really like it as well. There's a reason he wants it. Is this the shore we want to... Yeah, this makes sense. It's a little bit more defensible. We're not producing the olive oil for Dorian. Hopefully, olives are slow, so I don't know if 2 additional is going to be enough. I could have gone into all the details there in the statistics menu, but I just don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it.
What could you possibly require?
I should have some items here. Yes, we'll go ahead and claim those. This is my new person, my new specialist. I don't know where I want him yet. He can always move around, but I don't have a villa here yet, so it doesn't matter. But we'll go ahead and add her to our first ship. Why not? Can we just drag her on there? Yes. Let's claim the flotsam. Free stuff. Always good. See where this takes us. Yeah, we can kind of snake up there that way, and also over here this way.
Neptune's finest! Ready!
And we'll take that. Oh, our trading post is already full. Let's start building up here a little bit so that we can level up to our smiths. I don't usually build right on the coast, but let's try it for the moment. Get them their first food. They need a cockle picker. The music here in Albion is so relaxing. I really love it. We're gonna squeeze some of these houses in kind of a fun way over here. Not be quite as particular as we are in Latium. They don't have a road though. I was hoping this road would get up to that. Does it? Yes. But it doesn't work for this one. So I guess we will sacrifice that house. Get them a tavern and bardic hearth. We will start with what's easy for now. You know what? We need... First things first, we need a woodcutter. Multiple woodcutters. See if we can get some good roads for these. Get them a warehouse. So we'll need sawmills for those. And we'll probably grow our population and our homes up here. We will have some mining along the way as well. It's funny what recording and chatting reveals about how you talk and phrases I say frequently, like as well, seems to be something that I say all the time. You probably want... We might want a connector through here, but let's see what we end up with first. That's not what I wanted at all. Actually, let's build up our timber stocks a little bit. Let them settle in here.
It's good eating on cockles, and not just for crabs.
And then we'll get them hemp and tunics and slowly expand. But I want to get one of each very quickly so that I can level them up and then get our research going so that we can build woodcutters
Us, where would
without
souls
trees.
want guiding?
Yeah, I'm not taking
Glad
something
such
from the
dilemmas
sky
don't fall
and
upon me.
ruining happiness forever.
May your river run clear.
Let's continue to send our ship out for exploration and see what else is around our island so we have options for expansion when we need it. It's just so calming to be here. We also need to find Manx. How are we doing? We're getting better. We've still got a ways to go. I'm curious about these settlement requests, and it would be good, I think, to have trade partners here. I don't know if they trade something different here, though, than they trade in Latium. That's really the only way trade here is any better than trade in Latium. It would.
Scouts have sighted new land.
I suppose the other benefit to having them here is if you want to ally with them.
Our scouts
But otherwise,
have sighted
why
new
not just
land.
deny them if trading here doesn't provide any new goods or benefits? But I think trade routes here either unlock something or provide some kind of a award type thing. I don't know what water consumption is. I don't have any buildings that use quantities of water. Let's increase our loading speed. Because we've grown slowly and built in services, we haven't had too much issue with some of these other effects yet, so we can get them a little bit more slowly. It's been maybe a strange playthrough, maybe doing things in a somewhat strange order. What do these ships have? What do these islands have? Another one, barley flax. This one has pony. Tin we will need, so that's good to have nearby. More tin. Otherwise similar. Let's send him up to this corner.
Pestina Lente.
Let's get the tunics going. Can get a little hemp field over here. I am a Roman governor after all. Let's get these folks in some tunics. That will help our income. I almost said as well. As well, and I've edited out a few.
Hours, Ere. How about a little exercise?
I have taken exercise. I've taken a break. Some of that time was paused. I promise. I have tried to start editing out every time I say so. I just started noticing all these little
The
ticks
materials
and
haven't arrived.
that these verbal tics of mine, things I lean on too much.
Our scouts have sighted new land.
So leader, then we'll venture out into the marshes and develop reed shoes, get them some eels to eat, which just sounds so delightful. I'm one of those neurodivergent people who is extremely sensitive to texture, and the idea of eating an eel just sounds horrifying to me. This is a large island out here. Oh, it has granite. We're gonna want this one. We're gonna want that one for sure. Let's keep going around our island and hope that we don't... She's out and about. Voada, I think that's her. Or no, that might be the... Yeah, that's a procurator. So we'll hope we don't run into Voada, but if we do, we'll prioritize some more military defenses here. We were lucky in avoiding Kaiso because he's a bit more predictable. Sure, what's this?
You were the right choice for command.
Okay. I can't get all of this yet, but we can start your wheat. I think, well, we can't start your wheat. We have to import it. And we can't start iron, I think, until level 2 smith. That's not time sensitive, so we'll just hold on to that and get back to him when we feel like it. Which island does she want?
Do the sensible thing.
I think we can get these things on other smaller islands. So let's give her the island.
Ooh, delightful.
We also don't have a trade agreement with her yet, which is unusual for me. Usually she's happier to please. So maybe we should... maybe we should go do some
Our
quests
scouts
for
have
her.
sighted new land.
Does she have a lighthouse here yet? There it is.
I like having people around. The more, the merrier.
Go get some crates. We don't have a military ship yet, so this might be risky, but it looks like one of these is close
Time
by.
flies, as do we.
One is over here. It looks like they're in safe places. So we can try to build up our relationship with her.
Greetings. Watch out for the returning discus.
We still have a trade treaty, but we need to keep this up and probably keep up our relationship with him. We don't buy anything from him, so he probably doesn't like that. All the money earned.
He's a nobody.
We don't sell him enough olive oil. Lisa Ma, what does she want? How close are we? Nope. Trade treaty. We're so close to a trade treaty. We can trade with Manx once we find him, and that will help. Alright, so I just looked into what Licia Ma wants, and we're pretty close to getting a treaty with her. He wants the island we're already on, so I don't know what would happen if I granted it, if I would get him.
I think you know that bothers me, what you just did.
I understand, but I needed this island. You have to understand that. We are also gonna rename our island. I completely forgot. So, to Selkie Isle here in Albion. We are going to try for more appropriate mythological creatures.
Mariners, forward! We advance.
He does benefit our cockles and nothing else here. We could also worship Neptune for a while in...
You've really got a grip on things. Roma said I should make...
Neptune just barely benefits us here. As we increase worship, we will help our cockle picker. And we're not building ships yet, but maybe we will just plan on building some ships here. We can always send them to Albion. We can, you know, be a little bit more protective and aggressive with Bawada. So maybe we'll plan on ships here once we unlock it.
Some
What's...
bard song you remember, some you want to forget.
Mariners, forward!
Oh, now this has a timer?
We advance.
Alright, well I guess we'll try to buy those and see if we can get them purchased in time. And a ship over there in time. I don't remember seeing a timer on that before. I'm sure there was not a timer on that. Wheat and iron. At least they're small amounts. Hopefully we can get that purchased. It's a little frustrating that that shows up later after you've already accepted it. Or after you've wasted some time. This is just going to take some time to move up. Maybe we'll discover Manx on the way to get this lost cargo, but either way we have to go to his island, so we'll get there at some point. Done? Oh. What a weird announcement. These tunics are just kind of slow. We only have one of them. So we can use some of this marshland and clear some of it so that we can have either buildings or farms.
Palisade when it comes to being called Roman.
There's plenty of it here. So if we end up needing the land, we can clear some of it and keep some of it for those reed shoes and everything that we need to keep some of our folks happy. I'm just waiting for things to happen. We've already covered our losses and we are in a we have a positive balance here on Sulky. It's gotten pretty easy for me on normal mode, and I'm not really looking for a huge challenge. My big challenge now is maintaining several islands, production chains, trade, and whatever is going to happen on with the volcano eruptions and those new cycles. And however I need to learn how to prepare for those. While our ship is going after this flotsam, while our ship is going after this flotsam, let's just check back in Albion.
New land.
Make sure everything's going well here. We don't have any warnings here on Fawn.
I am Voader of the Skaha. Turn back, Roman. You're not welcome here.
Oh, I left too soon. We will agree to keep our distance for now.
It is certainly not them.
The big problem with Voada for me is that she's so cool. I want to join her. She's awesome, and the Skaha are incredible. I don't want to be hostile with them. I don't know if you can make peace with Voada at some point. That would be an interesting challenge and sort of turn the tides and go after Kaiso. It doesn't fit with my character of this particular governor that we have going on, who is extremely Roman, but maybe Voada can win her over. If anyone could, I mean, look at her. She could win me over.
Someone fight me. The Roman is talking sense.
I like her voice too. So, someone please explain to me what this means. Oh, it's gone now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's just forget this whole trip to Latium. Let's go back to Albion and take care of this flotsam. No, I went to collect it. Let's go deliver these. So, we're not too close to Voada, which is nice, but we are already meeting her. She is going to start issuing ransom demands. So, we will definitely work on more military here and more defenses here. Look at that lone tree. That's so cool. You know, that happens if you're not from Britain and you haven't spent time in Great Britain, especially further north or in Scotland. Why? It looks like they're not going to pursue me. The little lone tree on a cliffside, on a hill. You see those all over the place. It's probably not unique to Britain or Scotland, but it's the only place I've been that is quite like that. And it's always, I don't know why that always stands out to me and as a striking aspect of the landscape. Maybe that's a little silly, but it's always something that just reminded me of some of my vacations and beautiful places I've visited. And it makes me really want to get out again. It's been a while. So I think we'll have our harbor over here. And we'll do our shipbuilding and that stuff over here. And we'll build some defenses. And there you go. There are your crates.
On my guest list.
And now we can trade with Lysiama. Does she need anything new now that we're here? No, she still requests torques. Can we sell at her warehouse, or is trade the only way? I believe trade is how you kind of improve your relationship, but what is the purpose then of allowing them to settle here on normal mode? Why wouldn't you just say no? I suppose if you want to trade to improve relations overall and build up those relations, it doesn't hurt to have them in both places. You can get other items from them like tunics, wattle and daub, and sandals, that sort of thing. Oh, I meant to go into diplomacy.
Give us your
So,
babble.
we can offer gifts and improve our relationship enough to have a ceasefire. Maybe we'll make that the goal on Albion. To make peace
When
with
I came home,
Voada.
the man I loved was already gone. He died fighting the bastards who claimed to be our guests.
This is some toxic Yuri that's gonna happen here. You have to overcome this, which is obviously going to be extremely difficult. We do want to build up our naval power. That's 3 against us. And soldiers. we can offer some gifts. We're going to be rich enough to bribe her into becoming our friend. We need to increase our happiness, perhaps. I don't want to lose what we have, our defensive, our non-aggression pact with Licia Ma, but it's not critical. Now we can finally upgrade. I was planning on going with Romano Celts for a couple reasons, but I've changed my mind. We will get them in a little while, but we're going to start with the Smiths. We're going to unlock, hopefully, new research soon. I don't remember which. So the Albionic research requires a trade route in Albion. I thought some of them required. There are definitely some that require Smiths, right? Is this it? This might be one we just unlocked. Where are the trees? Here they are. Let's get a trade route going with Licia Ma here. So it's a little inconvenient that we only have one ship right now, and we'll have to use it to deliver goods for quests, or for contracts and quests. But for now, we can always change it once we can build a new ship, and we will simply use this to unlock research. We don't have to maintain it for very long. So we'll do Selkie to Licia. 1. We're gonna have a quest here with the Smiths, but we can't do anything about that quite yet. Still building up this wheat and iron ore. But now that we have Smiths, I believe very soon we can get iron ore going. But let's go ahead and start everything else they need. Let's get them beer. This is 1 a minute.
We ought to take good care of our wares.
We can't reach this warehouse over here, but we're gonna need one over here anyway. So we'll just put it right here. Then they need the malt house, which is 2 per minute. So we can have 1 malt house for these 2 barley fields. And we don't have to wait for Waddle and Daub right now because we had that little pack from our Hall of Fame. Beer is 1 a minute, so we can support 1 a minute, 1 a minute. So we can support 2 of these, but let's build up our stores of... We don't need to yet, I don't think. We'll go ahead and put one here. And we can put one over here so that this stays like sort of part of this industrial area. We also need charcoal. And pretty soon we won't need those trees for the charcoal. For the coal. I mean, I always call it charcoal because it's a charcoal burner. We're getting coal out of it. So they will get their beer. We're going to need to start producing Waddle and Daub because I don't want to keep buying it forever. So why don't we go ahead and work on that. We can start down here where the harbor will be as our first location for what we grow on the marshes. Or what we keep, what we need our ox farm. So ox are 1 a minute and dairy is 1 every 2 minutes. We don't have enough smiths, so let's upgrade some more of these houses. So this is going to take a little bit more effort. We don't really need cheese to start with. We only need 1 of each, but we'll get that going. We're going to need ox for other things, so let's just continue to build our population while that gets going. And we'll hope that we get the wheat and iron ore purchased in time. Can fit a little house here. Kind of alternating, and then maybe we can tuck a building in there. Get them a road. Okay, we just opened up a ton of stuff, which is fantastic. It's a little overwhelming sometimes the way they lay this out. We could put a villa here when we have enough wood, and that would give us some prestige. Oh, what do I have to make a decision about now? Let's make sure our ship is... well, our ship is trading, so it's either going to be... It's going to be very close. we're gonna now have to fill in some of the things that we didn't fill in for the Liberty, because the smith will need them. So let's get them some eels. They will also need reeds. Reeds are one, or eels are 1 per minute, so we'll just let them get started. Reeds are 1 per minute, and shoes are 1 every 2 minutes. So let's put 2 of these. That can go right where we left a spot there. And we can put them nearby here. We also need a warehouse that's a little more central. It's kind of cool that you can build the warehouse on the marshland. We have a busy work. We can't up. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Wheat. We have 30. Let's pause our trading. They do have enough space here.
As do we.
And do we have enough iron ore? Not quite yet. We'll keep our ship here. We'll load it with wheat for now and hope that we can get the rest of that iron ore. Yes, I know it's paused. I suppose I'm glad that you warned me. Alright, what's our decision? Ben Balian reports that a Roman city in a neighboring province has suffered a devastating flood. The imperial court and the senate have sent queries to nearby governors who might take in refugees. We can help our brethren if you so choose, but it will strain city services. This is brand new to me. So it goes down. Happiness goes down and health goes down. Consumption goes up 20%. And that's basically doubled. Oh gosh, what do I want to do? Let's go with this. The Emperor might get me in trouble.
Very good.
We're gonna have to pause to deal with things in Pegasus, but not until we find out if we can fulfill this quest. Hopefully Pegasus will not collapse in a few minutes. Why did I do that?
Hazardous housing, rampant disease. Think of your athletes in residence. Think of their health.
Someone please sell me some iron. I only need 5 more. Let's go ahead and build a shipyard. And we'll get this stuff going after we go take care of what's happening in Pegasus and make sure that we don't have a huge incident. And we'll come back here in a few minutes to make sure we don't hit that window. Let's go to Pegasus. On top of the penalty from the refugees. We have a little bit of a penalty from our increased size, but it seems like we were doing so well with our happiness and health. I'm such a good governor. For real. I'm so good. That we could take in all the refugees, no problem. That's what I'm here for. It doesn't seem to be going down. Yeah, so I can see negative 154. I believe that is probably from the refugees, since that symbol is just a sad face. And 154 for health as well, so the same. But let's make sure we're not missing too many of our... So we need some more tunics and hats for the refugees. I don't think that's a problem. We have 3 hemp. And some of it goes for rope for shipbuilding, so this isn't going to be enough room for the fields. Let's tuck it in here. And one more spinner. We have
What
2.
Albions need. We could put that on papyrus, you know. Make it official. The diplomats can sort that out.
We're producing 4 sheep per minute. And 2 of these per minute. But some of the sheep go to sales, but I'm sure sales has to be absolutely full. So let's just divert that resource over here. Let's make sure they can reach a warehouse of some kind. It doesn't look like they can, because that's the warehouse, right? We'll get the benefits then also of the income and happiness, so that'll help make up for the penalties. That wasn't a problem at all. It's waiting for reeds. Probably waiting for malt, yes.
We stand waiting.
Why are we not getting any more ore? If we miss this by 5 ore, I swear by the gods. This requires copper. Do weapons use iron? Yes, we can get an iron mine. I don't know if this will produce a 5 in time, but let's just try it. Let's give them a warehouse just in case. And it shouldn't go anywhere because we're not using it to produce anything, but we'll just set that just in case. We have 8 minutes. And this produces $2 a minute. We should be fine. So, we don't have any sheep here yet, right? Just warehouse. Let's get some sheep. 2 a minute. Perfect. Sailmakers. Just put these right here. We'll get this connected to the road. And we just need a rope maker. Put this up so I can almost keep watching the time. I don't know if the ship will sail there fast enough now. I thought we were good, but we do have to sail.
Legion's finest! Ready!
So let's hope we can get there in time.
Festina Lente.
I want them to tell me exactly when they get there. There's the tree again. So how much hemp are we producing? We have 1 on island, so we need a lot more hemp. I want a lot of this because I do want to eventually be able to build ships as quickly as I need to, just in case I don't improve relations. Trade, diplomatic relations, I mean. Those kind of relations.
Of course,
Definitely
you must
not
be the new
other kind of
governor. You're
relations.
welcome to drop in at the hill fort of the capital. I'm Manx, their chief.
So we'll want more sheep too. The thing is, we can always put some of these to sleep when we're not using them. None of these provide benefits while they're producing, so we don't have to worry about keeping them productive. Three minutes to spare. spare. No problem. I wasn't worried about that
Punctuality,
for a
Governor,
single
is
second.
often considered a virtue. Perhaps you can reach an amicable solution with their chieftain. If I have to fetch him myself, it'll be anything but.
Alright, I'll do your job for you, I suppose.
Through the waves!
That is definitely going to get even more traffic as we add those hemp farms and more buildings over here, so we'll upgrade. What is open to us now that we want to get? We absolutely want this woodland rebirth. That way we can move a lot of those out of the way of any kind of city or agriculture we want to build. Then when we get the Roman path, we will be able to increase our fuel efficiency, so we'll need even fewer of the charcoal burners. Let's get this as well. Let's increase our plebeian workforce where we have a villa that will affect Pegasus immediately. And eventually other islands we will get a villa going. I might go ahead and go for movement speed. What do we have to do for our final ships? It has to be 500 Romanized and 500 Celtic. So we'll get there as we build up our territory in Albion. Takes a while to get down here. I am anxious, though. I really want to unlock those, even if they don't seem to provide immediate benefits. I'm sure horses will be a benefit at some point. I have never gotten to that point in the game. Alright, what do I need to do here?
Enough. Come with me, Governor. We shall have to remind him who's in charge here.
Oh, where am I supposed to go? Why did I have to go someplace else first? That's silly. Let's cancel our purchases now. I wish you could just see a list of what you're buying and selling instead of having to click through individual items and having to remember. What else did we send off? Wheat. We'll use that wheat later, but for now we don't need to stock up. We are in the positive. I'd like to stay that way. Do I have to? Okay. The one thing I get a little bit grumpy about is ship escort quests just because it's a little bit boring.
What could you possibly require?
This is especially stupid because it's not a protection quest, it's just literally just following him. Let's go ahead and agree to the festival.
Governor, me and some of the other lassies were planning a wee festival. Celebrate the craft, you ken. Spare us a bit of iron so we've something to work with.
We're already developing iron. We're going to need to develop some weapons to build our ships. So first we need to increase our tile production, not increase. We need to make sure we're producing. We need to produce tiles because we just have the ones we started with. Clay is 130. Tiles is a minute. So we'll put two tilers down. We need more workers still because I never build houses fast enough. I sometimes watch other people and they are just building houses, going in debt, building houses. And some of the debt is because they're playing on a harder mode than I do. But I am a little bit slow in... I'm a little bit slow in building houses compared to a lot of people that I watch. But I also tend to stay a little bit more in the positive in terms of income and other statistics, because I do grow a little bit more slowly. I'm sure I don't think there's any right way. It's however, if you're having fun, that's the right way. And we are now at level 3. We probably should put some fire safety. Oh, we don't have fire safety here yet. I think this happens in a different order here than it does in Latium. Is that correct? Am I correct about that? Let's improve their health. Okay, we're here. We click on this.
Fancy taking some more low bellies off my hands. I don't think they're biters. Often can't see your hands in front of your face.
Oh, where's my ship? Do I need to get closer? How do I...
As do we.
There we go.
Corvinus, look, I'm really sorry, but... Sorry, I can't give you anything more. All we have left is...
Governor, I authorize you to search the Ocap.
This doesn't feel especially nice, but it's certainly in character for our governor. There we go.
Don't worry, it's fine. We can probably manage.
This ought to keep the Senate happy and our position safe. Hardly the ideal outcome, but a missed payment would have been worse for us all, anxious included.
Alright, for now we'll continue this trade route. And we will make sure this is up and running with what we need. We wanted to start some weapons.
So few precautions. Don't you realize your whole city could go up at any time?
We're gonna be fine. We're probably we're gonna need that fire safety soon. Let's get this going. And some weapons. So we have our whole little weapon industry together there. We might need more coal. We'll slowly get to this quest. Once you get the iron ore, there are more things that they need that take some time to develop. So I'm not in a hurry. I'd like to just get some weapons so that we can start building military ships. None of these help with population. Is there anything that helps with population? Trousers. But we're gonna need dye for those. Hearth. We need to increase our city level so that we can get the Vigiles. That's how I say it. I choose to say it that way. It feels better to me. Although on the other hand, the increased city status will add a penalty to island fire safety, so hopefully it evens out. We might want our villa now. I think it'd be nice. We want it protected. Might put it up here. It's not the best in terms of area effect. We can always move the road.
Ill news rides dead horses.
That sucks. Do you want me to lose the island immediately to Voada Emperor? Well, as soon as we get weapons, we can start building the ships. We just don't have enough for level 2, but that's okay. We also are just going to need a lot more population to maintain ships. So continuing to build houses here, I'm going to have to speed up much more than I usually do. Yeah, I have to do this in a little bit more efficiently and speedily because we're going to need a lot of people for ships. Maybe some of these... Oh, we already have beer. Cheese? We didn't put any cheese down. We started the ox, but we didn't start any cheese. That will help our population. And they're not all workers, but at least some of them are.
Proper beer is sweet as clover and sour like the roots of the earth.
And we're gonna have to start thinking about the next level of clothing and what to start making but we're also short on tunics. Let's see what's going on with the tunics. Yeah, we need another tunic maker. About hemp. We're producing too much hemp, so we can just add a spinner. And that is it for this extra long session of Anno 117. I think we accomplished a lot here. Settled on Cinis and in Albion, and started building up those settlements to grow our population and head ever closer to experiencing the volcanic eruption and the quest for Cinis that I'm so excited about. I really can't wait to get there. But I'm not going to rush. I'm going to take my usual approach to the game and continue slow and steady. Maybe I'm a little too risk averse, but we are heading closer to some things that are out of my wheelhouse, out of my experience, and maybe things will get a little dicier, a little more exciting when we try to manage our trade a little differently as we increase our needs to get products from one place to another, and learn what happens when the volcano erupts and figure out if we are going to be prepared. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day or evening. I will see you next time.